Welcome to If They Won't Listens, episode 30, featuring our guest Corey today. How you doing?
Excellent. Awesome.
Welcome
to the show.
Thanks for having me. No,
No problem. Happy to have you. Do you guys see anything crazy happen this week? A bunch of news stories popping up and stuff. I'm all over the place right now.
I know that they had to take away the Donald Trump wax figure out of the Ripley's Believe It or Not because people kept punching it.
Oh my God.
People just kept going up and just whah, fuck that guy.
So I can't believe they kept it up as long as they did before they put it down now. I feel like with the last 4 to 5 years, they just somehow kept that out and was like, yeah, now's the time we're gonna finally put it away. It's just a really interesting timing. That's all I'm kind of noticing about it.
Yeah.
Do they have the Joe Biden one there too? Is he draped in flowers?
I'm sure they do. I don't know. I've never really gone to a wax museum before. I just never really had any interest in going to a wax museum at any point in my life. I just read it on Reddit, baby. That's where I go for all my news.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that's hilarious. I didn't hear about that thing with Trump at all. I heard about a few different things. So right now there's the attack on all the Asians or whatever, and now there's mobs for stopping Asian hate. I thought that was quite apropos. Like we're gonna run through all the races in the category in 6 months, 8 months, a year's time. Maybe we'll be done.
Guys, he was having a bad day. Okay, he was having a bad day. So yeah, just pulled out a gun and just shot people.
Yeah,
that's what they said. That's what they said about Ed Harris and Daniel Klebold on April 20th, 1996. They were just having a bad day. Went up and shot a school.
Yeah, well, it seems like there's too many bad days and nobody's taking force how to fix these bad days. It's like that song goes I don't like Mondays. It's great.
Yeah.
How are we going to fix I don't like Mondays? Because we got to start liking Mondays again.
Right.
We all have to love our Mondays. Because what are we doing here? We're just hurting each other even further. This is really ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
If we go into extinction, it's because we just hate each other so much. It's not
we're
because
gonna blow ourselves up.
Else. Yeah, we're gonna blow each other up. We don't need a fucking comment. We have hate. And that's so fucking depressing. Every time I think about it, it's just what else could go wrong? I don't know. We got plenty of hate though. It's yep, some shit's gonna get fucked up again, and it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting.
I'm with you.
I'm with you, Spencer.
That's why sometimes I just gotta look at that cat hanging on the tree, saying,
"Hang in
there." Yeah.
All right, so here's the first thing I pulled up here. You guys can see this, right?
Okay.
This is no. Do you guys read this article at all?
No, I haven't.
No.
So this was a article about a Long Island school where the headline says it all. The white headmaster told a 12-year-old black student to kneel and apologize in front of a whole bunch of people.
What? Yeah. What? Is this is this the Onion? Are you trolling me? No, it's TMZ. That's even worse.
Yeah, it's a legit headline. I can't say I've done much looking into it, but it's I read it and I was like, wow, it's
get on his knees and apologize for what exactly? Did he take
they caught him? They said they caught him working on the wrong assignment in English class, according to the New York Daily News. And the teacher reportedly ripped up his paper, sent him to the headmaster's office, and then he told Trayson to get on his knees and confess his wrongdoing. And he said, and he added to that, he said he ordered the child to kneel because he believes the father of a Nigerian student. It's the African way of apologizing. So as if it couldn't get worse.
That's really messed.
I mean, I really can't back that up because I'm not from any part of Africa, not even South Africa. But that feels wrong. That doesn't feel right. It's the African way.
Yeah.
The header is just completely wrong all day. Like reading that is absurd. Like there's no reason that should be going on, and the fact that it went down in the first place is appalling.
Yeah.
I mean, I really hope that the fucking due justice actually comes back at these motherfuckers for what they're doing. This is heinous.
Yeah, no, it was really bad.
Don't disagree with that.
I read it and I was like, wow, that's pretty terrible.
Go. Where you at, son?
Yeah, that just reminded me of my Motorola back from high school.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking. That's why I said, "Where you at?" That was their old slogan back in the day.
Remember those hard exterior shells where you just swap them out with all the different colors?
Right.
And you had a little screen in front that would like tell you who was fucking calling you, and you thought that was the most high-tech piece of device you had.
Oh man, those phones back in the day were just legit.
What was the pinnacle of devices for you guys growing up? I mean, I had the Sega and the Atari and all sorts of little Game Boys, like the first one. But when you guys were growing up, what was the first big like whoa?
You're gonna date me on this one. You guys are gonna date the shit out of me.
They decided to take the Game Boy and turn it into this.
What do you got, Corey? What was your first?
Man, you remember the very first video games that came out with the Atari, and they had Centipede.
Yeah, Centipede's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I had the Centipede. And you guys want to talk about cell phones? Have you seen a brick phone?
Oh, of course I've seen a brick phone. My dad used to have a brick phone.
Yeah, those are great.
The Zach Morris phone.
I had the very first brick phone. They had a choice between a bag phone and a brick phone, and I got a brick phone. I still have it.
That's awesome. Do you have the fanny pack that came with it?
No, I didn't get the fanny pack. That was, I think, with the brick phone, you can get the fanny pack option. Yeah. But yeah, I still got the old analog brick phone with the charger and the batteries. And
what did it cost per minute back then?
It's $1.
Right? I got one of the first deals. It was like $80 a month, and it was free between the hours of after 7 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning was unlimited minutes.
Oh wow! And then how many minutes? And then what was it per minute, or did you have to?
I can't. It was ridiculous per minute. I mean, you had like a stupid amount. Like I want to say it was like 2 hours for the month or some shit like that for the on out, in between those hours that you got charged. Hours. But I was pretty smart with it. I actually I used it after 7 o'clock. That thing came on, and I don't think it shut off till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow,
that's awesome. That's awesome. I remember people used to do that, but like it was. I remember for my time, I think it was like middle school middle school. They did a thing where there were. You would have unlimited minutes after 9 p.m.
Free nights and weekends.
Yeah, free nights and weekends.
Yeah, nights and weekends too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I remember it'd be like you got a phone call at 8:35. It'd be like, "Yo, call me back in 25 minutes."
Well, no, I remember how many times I'd be driving down the road talking on that phone, and somebody thought it was fake. Yeah, you really don't got a phone. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna beg you to believe me. Then it'd ring. They're like, "How'd you make it do that?" I'm like, "It's somebody calling me."
What do I have to do? What do I have to prove to you? I don't even know you, man.
I know.
What value does your opinion mean?
It's like,
would you be like the center of attention at a party? Would they be like, "Oh, we love your toy. Tell us more about it. Can I make a phone call?"
I remember that with the iPhone. No, man, I remember that with the iPhone when someone actually had an iPhone, like the first ones. I remember everyone would gather around that person going, "Oh man, how does it work?" And he's going there, he goes, "Look, works like this, it's all touchscreen." And you're like, "Shut up, Jeffrey. No one cares." I guess everyone does. I'm the only one in class that doesn't care.
I kind of remember that, but more with iPods. Like iPods were the revolutionary thing. It was like, wait, I could spin to my song.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. You kind of feel like a little DJ with your finger, and you're like, "Hey."
I remember I had an iPod mini. My dad got it for me, and I think I was able to load up about 120 songs, which was more than any other CD could ever hold back then.
Yeah.
And I just remember I had it from, I want to say grade 8 all the way up to about maybe grade 10. I had that bad boy just all around, just shuffling music around and just like switching out System of a Down songs with like a Limp Bizkit song or just Offspring or whatever I was listening to at that time that I just was able to get my hands on. Just listening to that music back in the day. I remember having an iPod Mini, and that was the shit. It was the shit. Then the iPod video came out, and you went, "Whoa! You can watch what? And this little tiny screen this big?"
Yeah. It's like you could watch The Office.
I know.
What?
It's this new show.
Yeah. It's really amazing how they convinced us that going smaller with their screens was better to watch stuff. It's like, watch something in 2 inches. You'll love it. No?
No, legit. Here's a Model 1 PSP. For those who can't, see if they're listening to the audio, I got a Model 1 PSP, also known as the PSP PlayStation Portable Model 1001. The screen on this is about maybe 3.5 inches. Now compare that to my phone, and it just dwarfs it. It just freaking dwarfs it.
That's pretty funny.
And I just to think that this screen it cannot get any bigger than this. And I look at my Nintendo Switch and I go, nope, no, never mind. It does get bigger. That's what she said.
Oh my God.
That's wicked funny. So Corey, do you have a smartphone, or what do you got?
Yeah, I got an iPhone. My wife got into them. I've been with her for 21 years.
Oh, also tough.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, it's been a rough road, dude.
I'm sure it's like a roller coaster. It's got its ups and downs.
After 21 years, I think you're on the better side of it now, right? Just it's all good from here, guys.
You'd think so. Marriage is a tricky subject.
Life lessons. I'm taking it.
It's not like wine. It doesn't get better with age.
Notepad.
Not always.
It's not like wine. Not like a water or cognac.
Take them notes, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys are married or not, or
I once
thinking
was.
about it.
Not yet.
I'm married since October 2020.
Wow.
Congrats. Monogamy is a subject that we could deeply dive into. The fact that it is fading away.
Let's do it.
What?
Because I mean, there's a couple of really great authors. There's a couple of really great individuals that have really dove deep into monogamy, and just kind of I think I want to call the book, you can get it on audiobook. I think it's Sex Before Dawn, I believe the name of it.
Sex Before Dawn.
Yeah, I believe I would have to Google that. I'm in front of my computer. I can actually, but I think that's what it is.
And what did they say? Is monogamy dying out or something? Like, is it no longer as it used to be?
Well, what it does is that book dives deep into monogamy. I mean, you got to realize that monogamy was established as a survival technique.
Why?
Why? Just because, and through like religion, when you get back into how you needed two people to survive, you needed two people to, do a lot of things, especially when you got away from the village aspects. I mean, in villages, they say it takes a village. Well, that actually comes from some truth. It comes from history. If you go to a village atmosphere, which, believe it or not, there's still villages in the world, and you look at those and you see how the dynamic is created and how they don't have necessarily like laws. They have established traditions that keep everybody in check. So if you got a village of people and what's that?
It's like the daily routines of every day, like of a year, like they always have something to do. And during just like we do, it's like we have like particular holidays, particular get-togethers, and it's like they kind of with their village, they have more integrated like stuff that they do on a daily basis. I'm sure perhaps maybe every Sunday they all gather together by the big oven and they all cook off what they have from their own farms and land.
Yeah, well, there's definitely that part of it that you assume, and you're correct. I mean, there's things that are of that nature, but the big thing about the village that I found interesting is you look at your group of friends or your society, and you have people that are born with certain trades that they excel at. I mean, like athletes, you know, they're just good, you know.
Yeah,
I
better
mean,
genetics.
They're born with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, villages are no different. So you've got on a hunting gathering atmosphere, you have some hunters that are better than other hunters, just like we have some drivers that are better than other drivers. The difference being is the best hunter is not allowed to be the best hunter and be praised as the best hunter in a village.
Why not?
He is, well, to keep the balance.
Is it like kind of like the ship of state, but in a more balanced sense? Like maybe I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, so the ship of state was something that, like, from the Socratic dialogue from Socrates and Plato's works. Plato wrote it, but he wrote it about Socrates, and it's the sense of if there was a ship, like a pirate ship or like a Caribbean ship, nonetheless, and there was the captain fell overboard and died. Now all the crew is like, well, who's going to be the captain? The contest that's made for the captain would probably be brute strength. And the guy who's smart enough to rule the ship will be looking at the stars, not able to win the contest, not because of his lack of attention, but because he's a smart guy who's not doing push-ups. He's studying the stars. And so that it's just it's an analogous way of saying that the guy who's in rule is usually not the guy who's smart enough to rule, but that's because the contest to get in first is never the method in which you'd want to rule. And I read it and I found it so interesting, you know.
It's just modern day politics too.
Yeah, you know. You got enough
Sounds
money.
like a whole lot of happy accidents.
Yeah. No, I mean, but yeah. So the whole village thing I can get. I mean, imagine if you were like the LeBron James of your village. You know what I mean? Like if you were just that number one guy and nothing. You know, like we compare almost all of society to him, and we're nothing. So if you were that guy and you grew up in a less than fortunate third world country with mud huts, like it must be nice to be freaking Usain Bolt. You know what I mean? Like I win.
But that dynamic is not. It's like, hey, if he actually came in and he had the most skills and completely, just killed it out there, he would be treated as if he'd be shunned. Hey, look, you don't get a gloat. You can be the best, but we're not going to praise you as the best. We're not going to put you on a pedestal because you are part of a unit. Now, you do raise that unit up, but at the same time, you are not going to be any better than the person next to you.
I get the system. I see how the system works.
And
now, here's the monogamy part.
Okay,
all right,
yeah.
So how is it tied to monogamy?
Well, what it is in a village setting, when it comes to breeding, it's all about the pleasure. So the woman is the one in control. The woman is the one that chooses who she sleeps with.
That's
and she also
real life.
chooses.
That's what's in modern times. It's exactly how it is.
Yeah. And
on Tinder?
talking.
How is that determined though? And was there a ranking of women?
Oh yeah, for sure. The
system.
women are the hierarchy of the woman is you kind of roll back to the strength. You roll back to it's the most fertile and it's the strongest.
Okay.
And the wisest. So the wisest women will be the ones that will be raising the children. The strongest women will be the ones doing the work that it takes to, keep everything going. And the most fertile women are the ones that choose the males, but they don't sleep with the same guy all the time.
Yeah. So you're constantly paying the best of the best, and everyone's allowed to be the best at what they do, without there being no interference.
And they try to make the whole unit better through their thought processes, and it's all communal. So it's not like one person is deciding everything. It's everybody gets together and decides what should be done.
So they come up with the decision as a villagers together.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So it takes a village.
That's incredible.
It's very democratic.
And the sex before dawn, it explains when monogamy actually came into play was a lot of farming. When we started doing farming, instead of the hunting gathering thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in order to run a farm, you have to have a unit of people. So,
but not
people would
quite
get
a village.
together, and that you broke away from the village at that point.
So how many people would constitute for a farm?
Well, if you look at go back in the early 1900s when we were, farming as our main source in the Midwest, and you'd have these families that would have, 8, 10, 12 children, right? Well, one of the reasons they had so many children was life expectancy was 35 years. And a lot of those children wouldn't even make it to their teens. The death rate was unreal. And monogamy was a way of holding that together to support a smaller version of a village. So the ideals were still there, the family unit. That's how we get to the family unit. That's why you say, well, you always love family. You never turn your back on family. That's where that came from, was farming. It was survival. It wasn't courteous. It wasn't because, your cousin's an idiot and he drinks himself in the hole, but we're always going to bail him out of jail. That's just kind of, it evolved into that, and that's where we end up with people going, why are we doing this? I can't stand my brother. He's an asshole, but I got to invite him to Christmas? What the fuck? But, you got the older silent generation going, yep. You never turn your back on family. Like, Grandpa.
Man,
no,
fuck out of here with that.
He's out of here,
Yeah.
So things are changing. Monogamy is, you look at it now, and really, what justification do you have to spend the rest of your life with one person? What is the survival technique involved in that?
In modern times, you mean?
Yeah, in this today and age.
There's none. It's just a rite of passage.
It's tradition.
Point. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's tradition, and this is the way you're supposed to do it because this is the way society says it needs to be. And it's just that's the fucking problem. It's like, we need to be more open. And it's great that television is getting more risque and having more I feel like they're getting a little bit more sex positive, more so now than they did 30 years ago. However, there's still a lot of taboos out there that it's still not that people in general aren't aware of. And I feel like that is something that's crippling to people. And I feel like everyone should be able to discover themselves in a more healthier, unique way, as opposed to feeling somewhat odd about it because of the whole farming system.
I think the word shame is shame is the word I like to use. They feel shameful that they have these thoughts, they have these desires.
Yeah.
They have this reaction to something and they don't understand it. They can't see it. So yeah, you start to shame yourself, then you get depression. I mean, gender fluidity, if you look at that, you go back and you say, okay, we're looking at the 1900s, but if we scale back even more, we go into the 1800s. Okay, well now we're not changed a whole lot. We're back to making a kid kneel to apologize, because that's what that reminded me of. I'm like, what is the guy, fucking British? I mean, what is this, the Dark Ages? Why is somebody kneeling? Well, it's all because at some point we flipped. And the Dark Ages is kind of where another thing you can look at, where survival, you had to do certain things for survival. But if you go back even further and you keep going back and you look at the Bible in a sense, and that time, well, gender fluidity was, people were doing things, obviously look at the paintings. A bunch of dudes naked. There's stuff happening. And at some point, somebody decided that was not something that would help us survive. Yeah. Well, we've gotten such technology, we've moved so far, now everything is rolling back over. We don't have to do things so much to survive anymore.
Yeah.
So you're starting to take your generation X, your millennials, they're flip shit on their lid. But we still have the silent generation. They're getting pretty thin, right?
Yeah.
The silent generation is the World War II, World War I generation. Grandma and grandpa, if you ever notice, they don't say a whole lot. And then great grandma, she doesn't say a whole lot. Yeah. And it's not because she can't hear, she'll tell you that, but she can. But the atmosphere they were raised in was, especially for the female, you got to look at the female end of things, how that's been flipped over. Like we said with the village,
yeah,
the females were the ones in control. They made the decisions. They said no, it was no. And then somewhere we flipped that over. And the silent generation, especially the females, were always taught to not say anything. And grandpa won't shut up. And it's kind of, that's the generation.
But
and
how did we get there though? How did it go from the woman has the choice to, all right, now pipe down at the dinner table? It's like, where did that where did the pendulum swing to getting shit that fucked up?
Power imbalance.
Well, what it is, I mean, I really don't have an answer for that question, but I have looked into, okay, where did society say that the woman is the one that doesn't say anything, that she's the one that gets drugged through the dirt? And I'd have to say it's right around when we had the kings and the queens kind of thing. Because you're back to the brute strength. You know, you said when you're on the boat and you choose who is going to be in charge, it's the strongest. Well, at that time, the strongest survives. It's always been a survival mechanism. That's how we've always dictated our morals and ethics, and our moral compass is off survival. How are we going to survive this? Well, the men are going to go out and they're going to fight each other. And they're going to kill each other, and then whoever wins is going to be the one that is surviving. So it's always been survival. But we're in a day and an age now to where, like I said, survival is not really something that, I mean, it's a different type of survival now.
It's still
surviving different elements.
It's still surviving. It's definitely a different type of survival. You know, we still have to make money. We still have to put food on our table. We still have to put, gas in our ass to get to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see more women do what traditionally was a man's role. And I think that's kind of where everything started to shift back away from the male dominance, and you couldn't ignore the female. I mean, there was a time in which all of our industry depended on women.
Yes.
World War II.
During World War II, yeah.
Yeah. And then that got squashed due to politics because, I hate to say it, but guys are insecure.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean, look at us. We're all insecure about our dicks to one degree or another.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm proud of my penis.
But were you at 14? Like that's a feeling that reaches
exactly.
No,
yeah,
actually,
exactly.
At the age of 14, I got pantsed, and I pulled my pants up really slowly because I'm going. Everyone,
like, check this out.
I have penis hubris. That's one of my biggest problems in life, is that I've always had penis hubris. It didn't matter that I was not a shower. I was definitely a grower kind of guy. So so unerect. No, it's no bigger than like my palm of my hand. You know what I mean? It's not that big.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't care. People saw me and go, all right, I have a penis. So do you. And I'm like, I'm proud of my penis. Like regardless of the fact that you think it's small or not, I love my penis. It's the only one I got, bro.
It's really funny. I never started something to be like so proud of, but I was just like, this is a great fucking tool I own. And it's just like, I was like, I love this tool. Like, I'll tell you something. I know how to operate it, and nobody is going to operate this tool not only better than me, but I'm going to show other people how my tool operates.
I know how to tuck it back in the right place so I can go work out. If I need to get into a fight, I know how to just to shimmy in the right place before I get into a fight.
Get your little Instagram shots too.
Hold on, let me hashtag this snake monster.
Now, there's two types of people. There's the people in the gym who get, I get in the shower booth, I get naked, I shower, I get dressed after I get dry, and no one at any point, if I can avoid it, catches me naked. Like if I left my soap out of it and I was already naked, I'm not so insecure. I'd get dressed to go get the soap. I'd run out real quick and run back, holding myself like a 13-year-old boy. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not the dude who's waiting to air dry naked by the bench, just hanging out. And it's like, you and me.
Why is that though? I mean, what is it about being naked in public that you're ashamed of?
It's mostly this country. I mean, we're the only country where being fat is abysmal. Like in other countries, they're like, where did you get the food?
Oh crap! No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought we lived in a society of body shaming.
I'm on the shame side.
Dude,
I mean,
you're talking about penises and fat, and I got a Dickie Doo. You know what a Dickie Doo is?
No,
I don't know if I've heard that word.
Let me duck go that because I don't use Google.
Is it the male equivalent?
A Dickie Doo is where your belly sticks out further than your Dickie Doo.
Oh!
That's a good one.
Oh, that's great.
So
You're
it's like
talking about looking at your dick, and I'm thinking I can't hold my breath long enough to do that.
so it's like
Suck in. I'm talking to a guy who's got to go take 3 deep breaths before he can tie shoes. That's why I got pull on shit.
You know what's really funny? Where Ricky has his he's got to be quick. He's not ashamed of his body, but he has to be quick enough because he doesn't really want people to see his naked body. I think I'm the total opposite of that. I actually have posed naked for artists. I was in a room, center of the room, and I had to get butt naked and hold a pose for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5
Not
minutes,
today.
10 minutes. No, I can still do it today, man. I'm proud of my body, man.
They didn't give you any grapes to eat while you're sitting there?
No, I wish they did, or just like give me a thing of maybe a thing of mead or a thing of a thing of wine, just to take a couple
They
sips.
start giving you penis-shaped foods. You're like, what the hell?
No,
Oh
you know what
my
the funny?
God.
So the funny thing is, there was a point where I thought I got a little in my own head about the people staring at me, and then I got hard, so I got erect during the whole thing, and someone showed me that when he drew me, he's like, yeah, I got you right when you got erect. So you go, see, and I go, damn, that's good. He got everything. He even got the circumcision scar and everything.
That is a different type of proclivity than I'm equipped with. Like I'm not gonna say I fit into a paradigm of like PC correctness when it comes to it. Like I think sex is great in movies, it's great in porn, it's great in real life, like in almost all aspects. But when it comes to like so my state, for instance, nudity is legal. And so that's like, to me, that's a thing. That's like like, you know what I mean? And it's like the dude without a mask. Well, you're the dude that you can see his dick, you know? And it's like, it's a different type of attention grabbing where you're like, you don't want to look, but then again, you're like, but isn't there an obligation? Like, I need to be able to tell other people about this. My first month living in Vermont, there was a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend, 2 people, male and female, on bicycles, just riding naked. And I was like, what in the, like, I don't know. I don't walk around
I'm not
naked.
in Kansas no more.
No, you know, like, I don't know.
33 states that allow this. I'm just looking this up right now.
Maybe America's just wrapped up. I mean, are we so wrapped up in the clothing that we've transitioned from keeping us warm to making us look good, and now the clothes have to look so good that the warm factor is eradicated? Because like if we were all naked right now, all of us would not care what you put on. You would put something on. It's cold sometimes. Yeah. But if are we past that point? Like everyone's like, dude, it gets hot at some point. If I want to, wear some skimpy shit, I'll go get warm later.
I'll say this. When I was like 5-6 years ago, there was this restaurant I was working at, and then like we were really going for like a Michelin star in this high-rated restaurant, and it just didn't work out, right? Mm-hmm. So, but like I was tight with like the waitresses, I was like all the servers and stuff like that, the porters and everything. So we would all just like hang out, and the owners of this restaurant had a bar that was close by that was more of a local bar. So the person was like, listen, I hold this competition every year called the World's Smallest Penis. And I was just like, oh, that sounds really interesting. Like, I wish I could do that. And she goes, well, like, I know you're out of work. Do you need money? And I was just like, well, yeah, I could use I could use some cash.
I can use the cash, guys.
I was like, but like, what does this entail? And she goes, listen, all you have, it's like, Miss America or Miss USA or Miss Universe. I go, yeah. I go, it's just that you're going to have a bathing suit competition. You're going to have like the formal wear and all this other stuff. I go, all right, no problem. Like, I'll do it. Like, because the money sounds right. Why not? Well, I didn't realize this was like their 5th year doing this, and the popularity around that is like extremely high. So it was only me and like 4 other guys who did this, and I only knew one other guy who was doing it, and him and I were like working out for a solid week just because we wanted our like chest and abs to look better than what they originally were. Not saying we were like really like out of shape.
Like you don't have a Dickie Doo.
Yeah, well, yeah, we didn't have. Yeah. So I do that, and I'm drinking because you got to break the ice, as you said, Leon. Like before you go out there and show the world your body, you got to break that ice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm drinking away and everything, and before you know, we go out there, we do the formal wear, we get up and everything, and then I just realized it's like I got this like sock that's just covering my Johnson, and I'm just like, and it's got little buttons on it with the bow tie, so it looks really formal, and like that's just it. It's like a banana thong or something like that. So all of a sudden it's like all these women are going crazy for us, and like I gotta be honest with you, it was all shapes and flavors that day. All right, like one guy
God really had a rainbow that day.
Oh, babe, there was one guy on computer who just literally showed up and I was just like, all right, this is how it's going today. I need more liquor.
Más cerveza, por favor, ándale.
Yeah. So then we get into our next competition, which is like the bathing suit. And we just like all went up on top of the bar. And I'll tell you something. I felt like one of those like cool like actresses from Coyote Ugly. Like I was just like, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's entertain. And it was just like you get so high off of the entertainment of the people, like because the people are cram-packed in there. It's like pre-COVID, obviously. So like everyone's just crammed in there. Everyone's having like a good time and everything. And you're just showing yourself off. And like, people are going crazy for it. And it was so great and liberating to do
no body shaming
like
whatsoever, right?
Not at all,
right?
It was great. Dude, like at one point I was just like, fuck it, I'm going full Monty here. And I just kind of just started dancing like something out of like a Chip and Dale scenery. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. But after that, anyway, so you go through a couple more competitions, and then you had the talent show. So I did stand-up comedy, and I told a bunch of dad jokes, and it was
that's the best. Like, you already have my vote. I would have been applauding like crazy, dude. I bombed so hard, man. It was like the worst thing. Like crickets. You heard crickets. Like it almost came down to a booing scenario, but I quickly like excused myself immediately. But no. Anyway. So it comes down to the final competition, and I come in dead last. I was so upset, and then I talked to the person. You did not have the smallest penis in the There was 4 other guys.
I don't. You know what? I didn't even care. I forgot it was about a penis competition.
Sounds like a competition you want to lose.
I think more or less I'm trying to point out like the enthusiasm and support from the fans is what kind of just got me drunk to be like, well, now I want to win. It's not like I really have a
I need their praise further.
Yes, I need further approval.
You forget why you're there.
Yes.
Man.
So I go, I'm like, why did I come dead last? She goes, listen, I was going to put you like 2nd or 3rd place, but the fact is you were actually getting paid for this, so we just knocked you off right off the bat. And I was like, god damn it. If I knew that, I would have done it for free just so I could get up to 2nd.
Biggest little dick in the room.
No, it would be like jumbo shrimp.
Now you can honestly tell somebody that you lost a little dick competition.
Absolutely. I mean,
you got a t-shirt to match, It's like, that's awesome.
We all learned something about Spence today. He was upset that he lost a small penis contest.
I was the biggest dick in the little dick contest.
This is the worst day of my life. I lost a small dick contest.
I'll tell you something. The guy who actually won the smallest dick contest
had all the ladies.
Oh, dude, that guy was not even small. Like that guy was just obviously like the biggest shower in the fucking.
All right, hold on. Just tell me when.
Oh, I'll let you use your imagination. But I'll tell you something. What this guy did to really sell over the crowd is that he sang A Whole New World from Aladdin, dressed up as Aladdin.
Wait. Was his pitch on point though?
Oh yeah. No. This guy was all money. I was just like, as soon as everyone saw that, at least the guys in the competition, we all looked at each other like, yeah, we have no chance.
The fact that he did A Whole New World in full nude, or was he full nude?
It was like an NC-17 of Aladdin.
Okay. Yeah, I would have voted for that. I just would have been going crazy. The fact that he did that.
I was just like, I want to go on this magic ride.
We went from monogamy and how it was an antiquated thing of pro survival to now singing naked in a small dick contest.
You know,
that's the breadcrumbs.
It is the bread. Well, I don't know about the breadcrumbs, but it's definitely.
That's why we led to it.
I love how we lead to things. This is terrific.
You know, funny enough, just to kind of circle it back to the whole monogamy thing, I actually came from a polyamorous relationship into a monogamy relationship. Funny, that's a fun fact about me.
What was the transition?
Nice.
Yeah. Well, okay. I decided to get into the polyamorous relationship because my girlfriend at the time, this is about 6 years ago. This is back in 2014. And that was basically the last, we were kind of getting on the last legs of our relationship. I noticed that things were getting stale between us. And then I decided, hey, why don't we look into more experimenting? And then we decided to try to have an open relationship. And then I always felt her approach to the whole thing was wrong. We should have got a little bit more educated about polyamory before we really got into it. Now, I was kind of okay with her seeing other people, but what I noticed was I was already picking up on the fact that she wanted to go into another relationship. She was using what I had suggested to do that. It was a huge justification for her to start seeing this other guy and put more attention. But the thing is, she put more attention on him. Now, as someone that started getting into polyamory and read about polyamory and did the meetup groups here in the Tampa Bay area, I learned that there's something called a primary and then there's secondaries. Primary is the one person you put all your attention on, and then secondaries are just that. They're just secondary. So if your primary texts at you, you go, I'm sorry, I got to stop this for a second because my primary is texting me and I want to make sure they're good. Right? There's check-ins. You kind of create almost these verbal policies with one another so that you kind of keep a cohesion, a balance to your multiple relationships. And I met my wife through one of these meetups, and I met her while she was still dating this other guy. And then I got to know her and we got to know each other. And we started off almost as friends and almost a friendly lover status. And then as we kept going, she was seeing her people and then I was seeing my people, and those relationships would usually fail. And some of her relationships would also fail sometimes. And then we just noticed we were always together. So then we just really thought about it like, all right, let's be each other's primary and we can still see other people. And I got busy at that time, so she saw other people besides me, but then she always kept missing me is what she said. She said to me, I always miss you. And just, she had this cognition one day. She goes, you know what? I don't think I want to be polyamorous anymore. I think I just want to be monogamous with you. And then we've been monogamous ever since that was about 2017, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
so you went from friends with benefits to
right,
essentially.
Yeah, I kind of, almost like I don't, because there's a connotation to friends with benefits. I would say there was an emphasis on the friends more than there was the benefits. Yeah, yes, we did have sex. Yes, we did do a lot of sexual play with each other. But we would just hang out. We would go out. We would go to open mics, and she would watch me perform at open mics. I used to be an open mic performer, by the way. Another fun fact about me. That's 2 for the day. And then, we would stay at home and watch Steven Universe on the TV. And then I got her introduced to that. And so we were just very friendly with each other, and we were very happy to be around one another. And then, sex was also thrown in. And I like to think that's what friends with benefits is. It's almost lovers in a way, I guess.
That's a good way of looking at it. I mean, it sounds, cough, cough. It sounds better than monogamy, cough, cough.
I think from someone that went from monogamy to polyamory back to monogamy, I can tell you there are benefits to both. Okay, I can see both sides. I've seen both sides of the coin on this, and they both have their pros and they have their cons. Pro, you get to experience, relationships and sexual relationships with other people. Now, because you have a relationship with someone else doesn't always mean it's going to be sexual. It can be a platonic relationship. You want to be with someone that you just want to cuddle and play Mario Kart with. And then there's that other person you go see that you do butt stuff. And then you have that other person you see that's your primary love that you have the most affection for, right? And so that's one benefit to it. And then of course the con to that is I've seen in the polyamory community here in Tampa Bay is that you're inviting a lot more drama into your life. That was something I did see a lot in the polyamory community. Communication is very, very, very important. But then you have somebody that's involved in two different relationships and goes out and meets with another person behind everyone else's back and never tells anything, gets an STD, comes back, sleeps with one of those people, they go and sleep with another person. So then you kind of get this, or then you get that whole risk of STDs. And then you have also the risk of fights. One person has a disagreement with another. So then person A fights with person B. Person B is in a relationship with person C. They have a fight. Person C hears about that fight and then fights with person A, be going, well, why'd you fight with person B? And then there's all this, this multiple dramas. It's very, very, it's a very fine line of how dramatic it can get quickly.
You raise an interesting, you really make an interesting point there. And what you're saying about like how where you live and how the poly's going is that like apparently it's all about nobody's communicating with each other and everyone's
they do their best.
But it seems like it seems like there's a trend going on where they're experimenting, but they're not really following the rules. And it seems like they're kind of playing it the way they want to do it, not recognizing how it's really going to affect the other parties that are involved.
Well, let me jump in here. It's actually the definition of lust. I mean, when you lust for somebody, there's usually a taboo and a desire involved.
Yeah.
So our instinct is, and even with what I've heard about the polyamory and what you were talking about, you still have that lust, and even when you've got established rules, going outside of those rules increases and intensifies it because you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Both parties know that they're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. So that's when the desire and the taboo falls in there and the lust is generated. No matter what rules you put down, no matter what type of situation you're in, especially when it comes to sexual nature, you're always going to desire that rush, that high, that chemical reaction that happens when you're, I guess, quote unquote, getting away with something, which I have experienced that you don't. But the consequences are never part of that.
But it goes back to that saying, like, the chase is better than the reward is what you're trying to say, right?
Basically, yeah, because the chemical reaction that you get from that, but then again, the emotional reaction you get from the friends, the hardcore friends, that you don't have the benefits with. It's like you're constantly trying to mold this thing together that's got this remarkable friendship, yet you still have the desire, and you can turn off and on the lust and then find some taboo to throw in there. That's where monogamy gets tricky, because how do you take all those things that you want and put them into one person and keep them in one person?
Okay, and
so
go ahead, finish up. You're still having a thought. Sorry.
Well, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you're talking about. I mean, marriage is something that you're trying to mold that. You're trying to keep that constant. And what I've found through 21 years is, there's times where each one of those take the main stage, where the friendship takes the main stage, to where the lust takes the main stage, the taboo, it's always kind of hinging on the edge to kind of keep things accelerated. But there's times in marriage where you lose the love, but you still have the friendship.
Right.
You have the lust, but you don't have the communication.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
it's
that journey that makes it hard for you to stick to it when the rest of the world's saying, why?
Yeah, well, there was
we got these. What's that?
Oh no, I was just trying to add to what you were saying. You know, that's the
go ahead.
In the Socratic dialogue, there's the same thing. In the tripartite, it's like he believes that the being of the soul consisted of 3 things, and he rapidly shifted that. So if you were to Google that, you could find like, you know, the beginning, the middle, and the end of what he considered it. But it's that, you know, same kind of thing where like you are one thing, but you must be multiple things by how the life we have to live is. So it's like, yeah, you have reason and you have logic and you have love and you have lust, and they don't all sit in the same chair, but you're all at the same table. And it's like, it's this,
right.
You know,
I like that. Yeah. That's really good, actually, Richard.
Trying to fit trying to fit all the, I didn't mean to interrupt Ricky,
no,
but, you know, trying to fit, going back to what he was saying, what Corey was saying with, like, you can't fit all that into one person and whatever it happens to be, right? You know, your wife may not be into butt stuff, but there might be someone else that, you know, that might be into butt stuff, right? And I always really think it's with marriage, with friends, with any kind of relationship, you have to go through these series of agreements. It doesn't matter what these agreements are. It just has to be an agreement between you and one or more people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can all agree that Star Wars is the best thing in the world right now, right?
Interesting segue. You almost got me there.
No. Right. Series of agreements. So really, you have to have that willingness, right? You have to pull yourself up. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. Am I good, guys? Can you guys hear me?
You bumped once or twice, but you're good.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So hopefully someone didn't mess with the internet outside. But all right. You have these series of agreements, and you have to pull yourself up sometimes by the bootstraps. And I notice that sometimes if I notice that I'm not talking to my wife, I stop whatever I'm doing and go and talk to her. Mm-hmm. And we talk it out. I check in with her. I always check in with her. And, you know, and this could be because we came from a polyamorous environment into a monogamous. So that's probably why our communication is so good, because we were always good about it with other partners that we had. And but like circling it back to the whole, you can't put it all on one person. You're right. It's true. Sometimes I cannot get my wife to play video games. I cannot get her to sit there, pick up a controller and play video games. And that's okay. She doesn't have to. Sometimes if I put on the right kind of video game, like The Last of Us, she'll sit there and she'll watch it because she treats it as a movie, right? Mm-hmm. But my wife also does art, and I'm into creativity. I write. I don't draw. I don't paint. It's just, it's something that's not real to me. I love it when my wife does it. I've seen what she's created in terms of jewelry, in terms of clay sculptures and penciling things and painting things. She's very talented, and it's one of the things that I really love about her. But she can't force me to be a painter. She can't, because it's just not real to me.
No, everyone's different. No, that's for sure. And we're at a good 5-minute warning here for recording. Not that I'm against going over, but we're doing the whole hour rigid thing. But so I real quick, you guys won't be able to see it. So I tried sharing the screen once. We'll skip the details. I'm going to show the viewers though. So the people on YouTube will be able to see this here in a second. So I'm showing them the 3 pictures of what you cooked, Spencer. So they can see it right now, and I'll flip through the photos. You can talk about it. Right now, the viewers can see all of us, and we're showing us 4 little cameras on top of a picture of your beef. So you got your meat.
Whoa! Look at that beef.
Yeah. No, that's I did a. So
show us your meat.
St. Patrick's Day, so it's like, you know, that whole thing about corned beef and cabbage. So like I was like, all right, let me attempt to make a corned beef. I haven't done this ever.
Yeah.
Wait, St. Patty's Day was recent?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know.
You remember that one day in the week where everybody was wearing green?
I didn't even notice. Did not even notice.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Spencer.
Oh, God. You're so lucky, because I find it so irritating. It's like when St. Patty's Day goes on, it's like everyone's wearing green. I'm like, let me guess, you're Irish today.
Yes, I might Irish today. It's top of the morning. I heard eating corned beef hash and drinking green beer. This is how Irish people ought to behave, right? We get drunk off our asses. You go, shut up. You're racist stereotype.
Accent wasn't far off though. But for anyone looking here before I pull it away, so it was corned beef, celery, ginger ale, white wine, butter, and salt. And I flipped through the photos a few times here, but
yeah.
no, it looks great.
Thank you. The ginger ale really goes a long way because it does the sweetness and you get the rooty likeness to the ginger that like it works well with the caramelized mirepoix of like the celery, onion, and carrot.
Yeah.
So it's just money, and like you add like wine to it too, which like really deglazes the pan. You get all that beautiful flavor. So once I got done cooking that, you saw there was all that juice left over.
Oh yeah.
So I strained out the vegetables, and then I've been reducing the sauce as we speak for like the last 2 hours on a slow simmer, so I could just get all that flavor into like less than a quarter of a cup.
Damn. All right, two things real quick, and we'll go two things real quick, and we'll go around and do outros. So number one, penguin poster, you're killing it, bro. You're killing it. The penguin, he wasn't always there, right?
Penguin guy, yeah, he's always been here.
Really?
Yeah.
I could have sworn your camera angle changed. Penguins are my favorite animal. I got 10 penguin toys down. Love them, but not all right.
Batman Returns, baby. Batman Returns.
So real quick, I'm showing everyone. I got my my guns and how-to YouTube channel up. I spent a few hours last night getting that up, so people can see that right now on the screen. And there'll be links below the show. But yeah, I'm gonna pull my head gasket out of my Subaru this summer and do a how-to video of the entire motor change, and then I'm gonna,
fuck it, hey, that's
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that, man.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a lot of shit, and I also just wanted to make a platform where I can go shoot shit and explode shit and make videos, and I have a purpose outside of I'm blowing shit up and shooting it. I'm videoing it as my job. So
you're like a modern day Hunter S. Thompson in a way.
Cool, but so
please don't. By the way, don't kill yourself at the age of 50 because you think you're being selfish for living past 50. I'm just saying. That's what a suicide note said, man.
But yeah, so let's go around real quick, and let's all say one of whatever thing we thought was really cool about this episode. How about that? We'll do like a shitty podcast version of Grace. So I'm thankful for having you on, Corey. It was a delightful conversation, and I was a little bit worried at first with no camera that but you wicked astute gentleman, and you kept the topics up, so thank you for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Would you want to do this again in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we didn't really even hit on all kinds of stuff we could have. I just kind of went with the flow of it, and I enjoyed myself, and I mean, it's good to know that there's a platform that you guys are creating that people can come on and kind of just talk about whatever's on their mind or whatever they feel. And I mean, we didn't really touch on a whole lot of intimate subjects, but we did have a good time, and I'd love to come back on and do it again anytime you guys want.
Do it.
Oh, yeah. Let's plan something out for next month then.
But yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah. All right. Sounds awesome. I want to say it is a great pleasure having you. You've been a very entertaining guest, and you're right. We've barely scratched the surface, but I think the next time we all go around, we'll get to a deeper place. I think us just getting the cream of the crop for today.
That's what
really
he said.
Yeah, it's a cool platform to be able to, you get to meet someone the first time, and if it goes great, well then like Spencer said, we can do a deeper dive and be more analytical with a certain topic for next time or whatever, now that we know you, and we can have some fun. But it's great having you. And Leon, what do you got? Spencer spoke. I gave a little sum. What you got, man?
I got nothing else. It was
what was fun about this show?
What
was your favorite part about this show?
I gotta say, the highlight of this whole show is Spencer's disappointment in losing a small penis contest. That's gonna resonate. That's going to resonate with me for quite a while. It struck a chord, Spencer. So thank you for bearing your soul and showing it to me, because I feel like I'm closer to you now. Okay.
I really wouldn't call it bearing my soul.
Bearing my soul.
You buried your penis.
That's a very deep thing you're kind of going into. I like to go for more of the chill factor of this.
Yeah, no.
like I said, here's the thing about me. I have to be very competitive, and I used to be a chef and everything, and to me it was like, you better have the fucking best dish at the table. It's like, listen, I wasn't really looking forward to like winning the goddamn thing for having a small penis, but you know what I wanted to do? I want to win because I'm fucking awesome. And, if I'm out there entertaining people and they love me, fucking let me win then.
No, and that's a good note to go out on. So everyone say goodbye and give a wave, and thank you guys for listening to the show, and have a good week. See you next week.
Stay loose, drink juice.
All right.